strong.
Hello everyone, Lucian here, back for another video, and today it's going to be another Commander deck profile. Today we are going to be doing one of my favorite profiles, my favorite Commander deck, which is Nazahn, the Revered Bladesmith. I've had this guy for many years, probably 5 years now. He was my first ever Commander when I actually started to get into the game of Magic. So, Revered Blacksmith. When he enters the battlefield, you search your library for a equipment card, add to your hand, you reveal it. If it's the hammer gets played onto the battlefield, and because when the hammer ever enters the board, you get to put it under a guy. But if you've already got that card in play, and this is like the second time, you can just add whatever equipment you want. Its second ability is really cool. When the equipped creature declares an attack, you can tap a creature a defending player controls, which is actually really strong because they have a really big guy that they've been using as a blocker. Then I can just tap it and just smack. That's effectively it. He's like, actually I think he's my highest costing commander actually. Oh, that and my tree guy. I'll get to that video probably later. But yeah, he's a really cool commander, and I really do enjoy him. I'm also running a companion, which they changed the rules on companions a while ago. I think back on lockdown or something. Usually you cast it from outside the game for its mana cost. Now you cast from outside the game for any mana, and it gets put to your hand, and then you can cast it from your hand for its mana value. Yeah, it used to just be the case of I pay one color, it's 2 green, summon it. Now it's just goes to my hand and then I have to summon it. But it has vigilance. It gives cats, elemental, nightmare, dinosaurs, and beasts +1/+1 and vigilance. And since every single creature in this deck is in fact a cat, I can use it as my commander. So, probably the most important cards that kind of stay outside the game in my deck. And now we go on to the white creatures, because this is a white and green deck. We have Ajani's Pridemate. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Ajani's Pridemate. Ajani's Stun Striker, a 2/2 with lifelink. Generic. A Little Explorer. When you cast this card, and I will only cast this card if I know my opponents have, say, 2 or 1 more land than I do. I'll cast this, search my library for X planes, where X is the number of players who control more lands than I do. So yeah, it's either 1 or 2. But it's better than having no land. It's better to have 1 land in hand than no lands in hand. Then we have my Cancel. Other cats you control get +1/+1 have lifelink. Now that's very important. That includes all my tokens and stuff, since I create a whole bunch of cat tokens. When it enters the build, it creates 2 1/1 cats with lifelink, so they also then gain an extra +1/+1 from this, so they become 2/2s with lifelink. And then we have Leonin War Leader. This card is nuts, especially on Arena. Whenever it attacks, it creates 2 1/1 cats that are tapped and attacking. So it's a really strong card. I foul like it really. I like it a lot. And then we have my Rymaz the King. He himself has vigilance. Whenever he attacks, he spits out a 1/1 cat soldier with vigilance that's tapped and attacking, and when he is blocked, he also then spits out a 1/1 cat that is blocking. So you get from one guy, you get 2 guys, and from one guy, you get 3 guys using him. And now Kemba. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 2/2 white cat token for each equipment that's attached to it. If you just flout equip her with a whole load of equipments, you're getting a load of cat tokens every turn. Like she's equipped with 3 equipment, you get 3 2/2s at the beginning of your turn, which is really strong. And now we have our Armored Sky Hunter. This guy basically helps me search for equipment. So when he attacks, look at the top 6 cards of my library. You may put an aura or equipment card from them onto the battlefield. If equipment is put onto the battlefield this way, you may attach it to target creature. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So again, I wait a turn because it doesn't have haste. Tap into attack. I then search. Well, I then look at the top 6 and add an equipment, and just place it on the battlefield, which is pretty cool. Especially since when I have to hammer, it'll automatically equip to a guy. And then we have a Leonin here. He's a cat cleric. He's in here because artifacts are control of hexproof, which means my opponents can't target my my artifacts in case they were to, I don't know, destroy them or exile them. Now this is this guy, and now this guy is quite important because the reason why I have a whole bunch of lifelink in the deck. He is a Wink edition. So it has Vigilance and lifelink. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 40 or more life, you win the game. I've only ever done this once in years. I've only ever been able to do this once, and that's mainly because I had so much lifelink on board. Very strong. Now we have King of the Pride. Other cats get +2/+1. Oh, sorry, I was up late last night. So yeah, it just basically makes my cats bigger. And then we have Raksha, Golden Club. It's Vigilance. As long as Raksha is equipped, creatures I control get +2/+2 and have double strike. That's mainly it. So as long as he's equipped with 1 card, all my cats get +2/+2 and have like double strike, including himself, because he doesn't say like other cats, so he counts himself, so he also gets big. Then we have our Leonin Titan. Whenever he blocks, he gains +7/+7. I can then pay a white, and he gains protection from the color of my choice until the end of the turn. Which is kind of cool. Like if it was gonna get killed, I could just pay a white and, I don't know, protection from red, protection for black, that kind of thing. And our last white creature, which is also an artifact creature equipment cat, is my Lion Sash. I love Lion Sash. I think this card's great. So, pay a white, target exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a permanent card, put a +1/+1 counter on Lion Sash. So it was a creature, an artifact, a land, an enchantment, those type of things that stay on the board. Then I can exile that as many times as I want, because it's as long as I can pay a white to do it, I can do it like 3 times a turn. And then if I reconfigure, it's basically the fancy word for equip. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 on Lion Sash. So what you can do is you can keep using Lion Sash to banish cards just so he gets a +1/+1, and the +1/+1 this will get, the creature also gets. So it can be really, really strong. So that's all the white creatures. Let's now go to the green. So we have my Pride Melkin. When he enters the board, put a puts a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Each creature with a +1/+1 counter gains trample. So it's really good since a lot of my guys will have +1/+1 counters. Next we have Prowling Serpent. Basically, it can't be countered and creature spells I control can't be countered. So it means that I'm safe for when I play all my big boys. My feline. Other cats get a +1/+1 and have protection from dogs. There's only not really a lot of us play dogs. Only one person really plays dogs, and that's Ellie. She plays a dog cat deck, which is actually pretty funny to play. Whenever one or more cats you control deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to one target artifact or enchantment that player controls. So it's a artifact and enchantment destruction, which is pretty good. And it only costs 3 mana, so it's why not use it. He says dogs beg, cats lay calm. I love those little wordings on cards sometimes. The flavor text. Okay, so Pride Sovereign. Maybe I should go to bed early. Oh no, I can't go to bed early. I have a stream today. So this gets a +1/+1 for each other cat I control. You pay a white, you tap in you pay 1, tap him to create 2 1/1 cats with lifelink. When you do that though, during your next upkeep, he doesn't untap, he stays tapped. Keeper of Fables. Whenever a non-human creature you control does combat damage to a player, draw a card. So it helps me draw when I've got no cards in hand. Now my Slingers. It has reach. When it or another creature, or say another cat, enters the battlefield, it destroys target artifact or enchantment. So again, a lot of enchantment and destruction support. Now that's really it for the green. There isn't really many greens in this deck. It's only like 6 compared to the amount of white cats there are in the game. Now multicolored. 1. War of the World. Originally, this was my commander for the very first game I played, but I decided that I prefer doing the equipment stuff more. So, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if War of the World is in the command zone or is on the battlefield, another target cat you control gets a +3/+3 to the end of turn. What's really cool about that is the fact that it says in the command zone, so he can still be in the command zone and my cats can still gain an extra 3/3. Whenever another cat you control attacks, you may pay 3 a white. No, it's 3 1 green. No, sorry, it's 1 cost, 1 white, 1 green. If you do, it gains trample and +X/+X in a turn where X is its power. So basically, it just doubles its power, which is pretty cool. Now we have Miri, my Weatherlight Duelist. As first strike, whenever it attacks, each opponent can only block with 1 creature. When it is tapped, your opponent can only attack me with 1 creature. It's quite an issue when there's a lot of creatures on board for my opponents. For me, it's my safe haven. It's like, okay, I only take 1 hit this game. Well, this turn, yes. Next is my little Pride Mage. When he attacks alone, he gets a +1/+1. Oh, sorry, when a creature attacks, he gets a +1/+1 to the end of turn. Pay 1, sack him, destroy an artifact or enchantment. Pretty simple, pretty basic. And the last creature is a Bronze Hide Lion. So you pay a white, green or white, it gains indestructible to the end of turn. When he does die though, he returns to the battlefield as an War enchantment with his effect that allows him to pay a white and a green, just so you can give the creature indestructible. And loses all other abilities when that happens until the end of turn. So that's pretty much yeah, only 4 multicolored creatures. And now we go on to the enchantments. Let's start with the basic enchantments. So obviously, as a commander deck, you gotta run Soul Ring. Herald's Horn. I call Cat, so my cat creatures cost 1 card less, and at the beginning of my upkeep, look at the top card of the deck. If it's a cat, adds a head. If not, it just goes to the bottom of my deck. No, it goes to the top of my deck. Now we have Uaz's Incubator. So choose a creature type, cat, they cost 2 less to play, which is really strong in my mind, really strong. So even my commander will cost only 4 to play instead of 6. Door of Destinies, cool creature type, I'll call cats. Whenever I cast a cat, it puts a charge counter on Door of Destinies, and the amount of charge counters on door, my creatures get +1. And then the last artifact is my monster manual. I am never going to do the sorcery adventure. Nah, I'm mainly just going to cast it for 1 colorless, 1 green, tap it. I may put a creature card from my hand into the battlefield, so I can just go. So I tap this, and I'm just gonna cast a, like, I don't know, my biggest boy. I don't know, I'm gonna play War of the World from my hand for like 3 less mana. And now we go on to the equipments, which there are like 15 or so. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, sorry, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. Yeah, 14. So, the hammer. Now, whenever this or another equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach it to target creature. So yeah, you would play him. You would then use his effect to search this out, place it on the battlefield, and since it enters the battlefield, it will equip to any creature. You even equip to him if you wish. The equipped creature then gains +2/+0 and has indestructible. And then we have Whisper Silk Cloak, which gives the guy unblockable, and Shroud, which means no one can target it. My armor. The equipped creature gets a +6/+6. Whenever the equipped creature attacks, it destroys a target permanent. So again, that could be any permanent, even land. Shadow Sphere. Shadow Sphere is nuts. It gives the equipped creature +1/+1 and has trample lifelink. You can pay a colorless. Terms your opponent control loses hexproof and indestructible to the end of turn. So I can effectively kill a god. Brass Knuckles. When Brass Knuckles enters the battlefield, it creates a token of itself. Equipped creature has double strike as long as 2 or more equipments are attached to it. So, yeah, that's, in my mind, really, really funny. Because if I got 2 guys, and each of them has an equipment on them, I could just attach both copies to each of my creatures, and then they also have double strike. Helm of the Lost. Now, when I last used this card, I used it on my commander. So, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of the equipped creature, except if the creature is legendary, it is not. Yeah. Oh, and the token gains haste. It is a really insane card, because then I could just... So, I have this is equipped to this. Beginning of combat, I just make another token of this, which means its effect goes off again, allowing me to attack, well, allowing me to add equipment. And then it also gives me another one of the whenever it attacks, tap target creature. Yeah, last time I used this with my commander, it was nuts. Would recommend. And then Maw of the Skycleave. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it automatically equips to a creature. The equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has flying first strike. Sword of the Amethyst. So equipped creature gets a +1/+1. When the equipped creature attacks, you then search your library for a plains. You then put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then you shuffle your deck. Then we have Zephyr Boots. Gives the equipped creature flying. Whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, discard a card. Lightning Greaves, it gives haste and shroud. Okay, Helm of Keldra. The equipped creature has first strike, trample, and haste. You pay 1 if you control equipments named Helm of Keldra, Shield of Keldra, Sword of Keldra, Shield of Keldra. Put a 4/4 colorless Avatar Legend creature token named Keldra into play, and attach those to it. I yet to actually use this card. Well, I've used these cards separate, but I've never been able to pull them together. So, Sword gives the equipped creature +5/+5, and whenever it deals combat damage to a creature, it removes that creature from the game. So, Shield of Keldra, it gives the sword, the shield, and the helm indestructible, and the equipped creature also has indestructible. So it pretty much gives, you can't kill these except by using exile. Now for, actually, unlike my Citizens deck, I actually do use Planeswalkers in here. So Ajani, the Great-Hearted. Basically, my creatures have Vigilance, I gain 3 life, and I put a +1/+1 counter on up to each creature you control and a loyalty counter on each other Planeswalker I control. Then we have Mentor of Heroes. So distribute 3 1/1 counters among creatures you control. 1, 2, or 3 creatures you control, sorry. Look at the top 4 cards. You may reveal an Aurora creature or Planeswalker card among them. Put your hand, the rest go to the bottom. And then the big neg A is you gain 100 life. So again, if I got that cat on board that makes me win the game, that basically won me the game right there. Now for the instants. So we have Enlightened Tutor. Search my deck for an artifact or an enchantment. Reveal it to all players, and then shuffle my library, and then put the top of the card onto it. So basically know I'm going to draw next turn. I usually use this during my opponent's turn, because then I can then draw for my turn. And then swords to Plowshare. Exile target creature's controller gains library to its power. Forest Protection phases you out for until the next turn. Pretty simple. Chroma's Will. So choose one. If you control a commander, you may choose. As you cast a spell, you may choose both. So if I control my commander cat, I can use both of these effects. So creatures you control gain flying, vigilance, trample until the end of turn. Creatures you control give lifelink, indestructible, and protection from all colors to the end of turn. So again, that's pretty good. And for the green ones, 1 Heroic Invention, permanents I control gains hexproof and indestructible to the end of turn. My Bless Respite, so it's like Fog. So target player shuffles their graveyard into the deck, prevent all combat damage should be done this turn. It's a pretty good card. And then Wrapped in Vulgar, regenerate all creatures. Regenerate creatures you control, sorry. My Crimson Grip. So he's got Bliss Second, so it can't be chained to. So it just destroys an artifact or enchantment. And the last instant is my Call. It searches my deck for a creature card and puts it to my hand. Effectively, that's all it does. It's just creature search at the end of the day. And now for the sorceries, we have Steel Shaper's Gift, so search my deck for a equipment, add to my hand. Open the armory, search my deck for an Aurora equipment card, put in my hand. Wrath of God, destroy creatures, they can't be regenerated. Farewell. So a very nutty card. Again, I would recommend anyone to grab a copy of this card. So choose one or more, so you can choose to do all 4. So exile artifacts, creatures, enchantments, graveyards. You can effectively reset the game from this. Brilliant Restoration basically returns all artifacts and enchantments from your graveyard to your battlefield. Cultivate, search your library for 2 planes, put one to the battlefield tapped and the other goes to your hand. This card is actually really cool because you draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. You may then cast a spell with mana value 5. Mana value 5 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Kinda dumb. Majestic Genesis. This is an amazing card for my equipment deck. Reveals the top X cards, where X is the greatest mana value of a commander you own on the battlefield or in command zone. You may put any number of permanent cards among them onto the battlefield and then put the rest to the bottom. So if I reveal a whole bunch load of my creatures, Planeswalkers, artifacts, creatures, they go to the battlefield. Or enchantments. Speaking of enchantments, we have my aid, which my auras and my equipments have flash, and whenever an equipment enters the battlefield, it equips to target creature. Unnatural Growth. During the combat, it doubles the power and toughness of each creature I control. Or shards. So whenever a creature comes into the battlefield, I can destroy target artifact or enchantment. And Mary's Wake. So each creature I control get +1/+1, and yeah, I need more sleep. So, and whenever I tap for a land, it produces another color of that land. So I tap I tap 1 forest, 1 mountain, 1 plains. I have 6 mana, 2 of each mana. And that's pretty much it for all the spells. Now, the lands are, I think, pretty straightforward. A command tower, Thriving Grove, Thriving Health, an Uncharted Haven, an Unclaimed Territory, and then Great Peril Refuge, Canopy Vista, the Blooming Sands, Sun Petrel Grove, Serhani's Sanctuary, a Reliquary Tower so we don't discard our hand, and a Rogue's Passage. Basically, the cheeky I'm going to give my creature unblockable for the rest of the turn. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plains, and I'm pretty sure we have 11 forests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 plains and 11 forests. So yeah, this is a deck that I've been playing around with for years, and I flat love using it. It will probably be a deck that I'll never ever sell, because I just love it that much. So, if you enjoyed the video, and also look to building cats, feel free to leave a comment and like the video. Like, I don't think I'm gonna ever do dual vids of Commander decks, because I don't know if I have that much memory on my phone or on my camera. But maybe one day. Yeah, I look forward to showing you my other decks from Commander. And yeah. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I shall be back for more videos later on in the week. So yeah, I shall return. See you there.